Good evening, everyone. This is the Daily Current Affairs. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Do not worry, behind me is my yesterday's class. Yes, there was a problem with yesterday's class in the sense that while I was going through the comment segment, I found out a very kind student telling me that, ma'am, actually, UNESCO has put the Hoysaleshwara temples in the list as the 42nd World Heritage Site. I knew that. The problem is that how my class works. My class first gets shot by me, recorded by me, sent it to the editing team, and thereafter the kind team uploads it on the channel. What happened yesterday, by a little confusion, the team got confused and they cropped away the correct part and put the incorrect part in the picture. This class is a proof that I said, yes, it is the 42nd World Heritage Site, but that part got cropped away. So this is just to make sure that you know that it was like an editing mistake and not something that was deliberately done. We got that other part removed as well. See, look at this. And these have been now a part of UNESCO's World Heritage list. In India, it is now 41st World Heritage Site. Okay, moving on. In India, it is now the 42nd World Heritage Site. Okay, so this is me, and I hope you understand how our classes work. I'm really sorry that whatever inconvenience was caused to you, and I will make sure that it doesn't happen ever again. So it was, yes, 42nd, but that part got cropped away. I'm sorry for that. Now let's begin with our new class today. New class is the Daily Current Affairs. Okay, I hope that burden was on me, that my poor students, they must be thinking that ma'am gave out the wrong information. No, 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 no. I gave you the correct information. There was a little confusion, and let's move past that. So this is my Telegram channel. Make sure you are a part of this Telegram channel if you want to get the PDFs of whatever I teach over here. All right. And also this particular channel is also for answer writing sessions. See, answer writing sessions will go like, sometimes I will give you certain questions in the classes themselves. In the classes you can find the questions and write to me on my Instagram that, ma'am, I want to send the answers for checking, so that you can send. Not to worry about that. Also, this is my Instagram if you want to connect. Let's move ahead and talk about these many events. First of all, let's talk about the practice question that I gave you. Consider the following factors: high yielding variety seeds, fertilizers, adequate irrigation facility, mechanized farm tools. How many of the factors given above were responsible for Green Revolution? M.S. Swaminathan, the pioneer, the father of the Green Revolution, passed away recently. So it takes us to the entire history of the Green Revolution, for which he worked extensively with the help of Norman Borlaug and made it possible for India to be secure in the field of agriculture. So in the 1960s and 70s, the Green Revolution revolved around high yielding variety seeds, first that. Then we have the importance and usage of fertilizer, that is also there. Adequate irrigation facilities, because India has been and still is highly dependent on monsoon. Then mechanized farm tools, because India was reeling under pressure since the colonial government went. We were still using certain very old tools for farming, which were not adequate to make the country secure when it comes to food stock. So M.S. Swaminathan, when he saw the Bengal famine, he made this discovery about himself, that he had been very relevant to the plight of the people of Bengal. So he made sure that he changed his field. He became a researcher in the agricultural field, and thereafter India saw this huge revolution where India became independent in its own food produce. So that is a great thing to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, all are correct. All 4 will be the correct answer. Now in 1942, Mahatma Gandhi gave a call to the Quit India movement, and in 1942-43 there was a famine in Bengal, which M.S. Swaminathan used as a motive to study agriculture. So you see that how he was unknowingly, also knowingly and unknowingly, was a part of the entire revolution, even if it started before independence. He was a very young person back then, but he knew the plight of the people. Moving on. With respect to PM SVANidhi scheme, consider the following statements. It was launched in the pre-COVID era. The duration of the scheme is till December 2024. It was launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? If you know about the PM SVANidhi scheme, you can connect certain dots. PM SVANidhi scheme is to help the vendors that we generally see whenever we go out in the market. We have the small shopkeepers that sell us snacks. Then we have cobblers, we have barbers. These are small vendors, all right. And these small vendors, when they were hit by COVID-19, the economy collapsed, the entire system was collapsing. We were privileged enough that we had some money with us to fall back upon. But most of the population, because they were uncovered in social security schemes, they had nowhere to go. So if we talk about it, it was launched in the COVID era. Specifically, if I have to put a year, it is 2020. So this is incorrect. UPSC will trick you like this. Then the duration of the scheme is till December 2024. Yes, first we thought that the government thought that by March 2022, everyone will be covered under it. Every street vendor will, approximately 50 lakh street vendors they had to cover. And after a period of time, they thought that no, it's not enough. Our vendors need more help when it comes to loan. So it provides collateral free loans. Collateral free loans mean what? When you go to take a loan from the banks, they may want a part of your asset as a safety for you to be ensuring that you are going to take it back when you pay back the loan. That is a collateral loan. And in case you default on the loan, in case you're not paying back the loan, the banks have enough asset with themselves from you that they can sell it and get the recover the amount that they gave to you. All right. So this is what collateral loan is. But collateral free means if you do not provide them assets, the government will still provide you loans. So this is the rationale behind it. So first is incorrect. Second is correct. It was launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. No. It was launched by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. All right. So you have to keep this in mind. First is incorrect. Third is incorrect. Only second is correct. One only will be the correct answer. Prime Minister SVANidhi scheme achieves momentous milestone for covering over 50 lakh street vendors. That's a big deal. It was actually launched by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, June 1st, 2020. Okay. Also providing affordable working capital loan to the street vendors. If they want to work on their own, they want to, remain self-employed with whatever they were doing earlier as well, this is going to help through it. To resume their livelihoods that have been adversely impacted because of COVID-19, the main aim is to enhance collateral-free affordable loan corpus, increase adoption of digital transactions so that the government can also keep a tab upon if this policy is working or not. Holistic socio-economic development of street vendors and their families. So the working capital collateral free loan will be given of rupees 10,000 with a subsequent loan of 20,000 and 50,000 if need be, and there is a 7% interest subsidy, remember that. To incentivize adoption of digital transaction, the government is also doing a great deal. A cashback will be given of up to rupees 100 per month to the street vendor if they are using digital payment system. So all this is working towards, that is why when we go out in the market, we see even vegetable vendors have these QR codes. So it's all interconnected. You know who makes all this policy? The bureaucrats, the policymakers. So it is important that you understand that you have to incentivize people as well. If you want them to do something according to your wants, as in, if it is for the betterment of all, at the individual level, we also have to incentivize them. With respect to the system of air quality and weather forecasting and research system, choose the incorrect statement. It was first developed and implemented for Delhi in 2010. SAFAR's forecasting model is comparable to the framework by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. It is developed by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, and the system is not capable of measuring the existence of benzene, toluene and xylene. So, the SAFAR system is again in the news. The SAFAR system has been a crucial part of monitoring the air quality of regions that are suffering from pollution since the time of crises due to stubble burning, due to Diwali as well. But SAFAR has done a great deal to minimize the impact of it. How? If we know that something is being impacted, if we know that some kind of pollutant is in our environment, we will be able to make policy accordingly, right? So SAFAR has helped through that. So not only particulate matter, VOC, etc., it is also capable in monitoring other things such as existence of benzene, toluene and xylene, toxic materials. Now it was first developed and implemented actually in Delhi in 2010. Okay. Later on, it was also extended to other important cities. And this model can be replicated for other cities as well. The surface forecasting model is comparable to the framework that is used by United States Environmental Protection Agency. And it is developed by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, which is operationalized by the Indian Meteorological Department. Okay. So first, second, third, ABC are correct. Fourth is not, because here it is written it is not capable, but it is capable, so D will be the correct option. SAFAR, this is standing for the System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting and Research Project. It is under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, developed by the Institute or Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, and it is operationalized by Indian Meteorological Department along with the help from National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting. Now UPSC can also do one thing. Consider the following institutes, and they will give the names of the institutes. Then you will have to choose how many of them or how many of the above have been involved with the working or implementation of the SAFAR project. So remember, that is why I have put it in green so that you can remember. This framework was first developed and used in Delhi in 2010, later on Pune in 2013, then in 2015 it was used in Mumbai, then Ahmedabad in 2017. It gives air quality forecasting even 24, 48 and 72 hours in advance. Another very important UPSC statement question. Temperature, rainfall, humidity, wind speed, wind direction. All these get actually, monitored by this particular SAFAR system. So if it is asked in your UPSC examination about it, you can answer it correctly. Remember, all these can be monitored. Particulate matter, the small particles that are around us that can lodge themselves in our lungs. They are, capable of causing a lot of damage. So PM 2.5, particulate matter 10, sulfur dioxide, ozone, nitrous oxides, carbon monoxide, benzene, toluene, xylene. These all can be monitored with the help of the SAFAR system. With respect to the Colombo Plan, consider the following statements. It was established post the creation of ASEAN, but before SAARC. It currently consists of 28 members. So which of the statements given above is or are correct? Many of you may not even have heard of the Colombo Plan, because it has been in the news right now because of India-Canada relation. Under the Colombo Plan, India has gotten a lot of help from Canada. That is why. So the Colombo Plan was actually developed in 1951. It was established in 1951. ASEAN was established in 1967 and SAARC was developed in 1985. So that makes the first statement to be incorrect. It currently, yes, consists of 28 member states, which also has the non-Commonwealth members. Non-Commonwealth members are those members that do not belong to the Empire of the Europe. Okay, those countries which were not colonized by the Empire of the Europe. So, first is correct. Sorry, incorrect. Second is correct. How many are correct? Or which is correct? Second, two only. Under the Colombo Plan, Canada offered significant development assistance to India. Canada also helped India build a research nuclear reactor by the name of Cirrus, and according to this, India could hone the skills to produce plutonium, which would be useful in making nuclear weapons. But surprisingly, when India did build a nuclear weapon for making sure that India remains one of the deterrent in Asia, Canada was very upset. It had a very angry reaction to it. Canada also joined hands with India to design and develop a heavy water natural uranium power reactor. Canada reacted with ferocious anger to India's first nuclear test in 1974. And it was among the last nations to come to terms with the entire mechanism that US produced to normalize tensions with India, normalize relations with India in 2005-2008. Colombo Plan for Cooperative Economic and Social Development in Asia and the Pacific was established on July 1st, 1951. Founding members include Australia, Canada, India. Sometimes founding members can also be asked, so you have to keep that in mind. Australia, Canada, India, Pakistan, New Zealand, Sri Lanka and the United Kingdom. Right now, 28 member states are there. Non-Commonwealth countries and countries belonging to the regional groupings such as ASEAN and SAARC are also involved. Consider the following statements. It is not possible for mRNA to move into the nucleus of a cell as it lacks the signal that would allow it to enter this compartment. There is no risk of long-term genetic changes with mRNA vaccine. Right now, we saw that, the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded to the creators of mRNA vaccines for COVID-19. So what is it? mRNA is basically present in our cells that produces proteins. And by replicating mRNA, if we are making it into a vaccine, that means we are creating the mRNA vaccines. mRNA vaccines are produced by synthesis of certain chemicals, and these vaccines do not use any kind of pathogen, weakened or live. So it becomes easier for the manufacturing of this particular vaccine to take place at a much faster pace. And that is why we saw that compared to vaccines for other, we can say diseases, the COVID-19 vaccines were produced at a much faster rate, much faster event. So that is why mRNA, because they are made up of not any pathogen or weakened bacteria, so we can say that they are easier to produce and much faster to produce, because bringing pathogens live pathogens takes a lot of time. And also the COVID-19 vaccines got developed and launched in the market within a really short span of time, because the different levels from development to trials to licensing then manufacturing, it was reduced for the COVID-19 vaccine. So this has made it possible for almost the entire world right now to make sure that they are safe and secure against the COVID-19. It is actually not possible for the mRNA to move into the nucleus of a cell because it doesn't have the signal to allow it, that would allow it to do so. Okay, so this is definitely correct, and because of that it cannot integrate itself with the DNA. If it could have integrated itself with the DNA, then long-term genetic changes could occur. If your DNA gets contaminated, long-term genetic changes will occur. So mRNA is not capable of that. Statement 1 is correct, and that is why statement 2 on the basis of it will be correct. Both the statements are correct, and statement 1 is the correct explanation of statement 2. Option A is correct. So messenger RNA is a single-stranded molecule that is naturally present in our cells. They produce proteins from our genes, and they are located in the cell nucleus to the cytoplasm, which is the main body of our cell. Enzymes in the cytoplasm then translate the information that is stored in the mRNA to make proteins. The recombinant vaccine, they generally use live pathogens, weakened, and that when it is injected in our body, the immunity system starts to respond to the foreign object that has entered our body. But for mRNA, it is just a message that is sent to the cells that you must start making proteins to fight against any foreign object. So this is how it works. Sometimes a small part of protein is also, created in the recombinant one. mRNA vaccines are chemically synthesized without the need for cells or pathogens, and it is not possible for it to move into the nucleus of the cell, and it lacks the signal that would allow it to do so. That means it cannot be integrated into the DNA of the cell, and then there is no risk of long-term changes in your DNA. Okay. Now this is a practice question for you. Which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution empowers the state to enhance public health by raising the level of nutrition and living standards? So these are the given options. You have to answer it correctly. Also, let me take the names of those students who have answered my last question correctly. All 4. So, Assured Success Academy has answered it correctly. Siddharth, Prabhat, Preeti, Shubham, Sonam, Sasya. My mobile phone, Vinayak, Sandeep and Pragati. Then Prashant has answered it correctly. Mandeep has answered it correctly. Swati has answered it correctly. Preeti. Then Shantanu, Mitlesh, Raghuveer, Karan, Shubhank, Abhishek, Chiranjeet, Priyadarshan, Suresh, Omkar, Vikas. Thank you, Abul. Very good, Riya. Congratulations, you have also answered the MITS question correctly. Anfas, my goodness. Thank you, my goodness. Thank you, Abul. Amir, Jaypal, Riya, Ritu. Thank you, Ritu. Shubham, Sanjay has also given us many important facts. You can read it. Then Mitlesh, you were the very kind student I was referring to in the beginning, at the beginning of my class. I have solved your query, and with your help, I could solve the queries of other people as well, other students as well. Thank you so much.